Hello and welcome to this little campsite tucked away in the middle of the Saltmarsh. A fiery sky in the background on what looks like sunset. So, what do we have to share on this our level 5 episode of Reborn? So we've got some nice Fey gear added to the mix. Still haven't found any glasses because the glasses are being used by my other character. But we do have some nice Fey gear. We've kept the gloves of the Tinkerer from this area. Very nice for budding artificers. The two rings are very good for our build. We've got the rock ring with the shatter DC, which is what our spell-like ability, what our tactical AoE from the Battle Engineer tree is using. So you can see it's already on a semi-decent save there, 34, outside of Reaper. So that is triggering sometimes Stone Skin as well, which is handy, and Insightful Shatter as well. So you can see if I take it off, the save on that special attack drops to a 31. I think we must have some other source of... Yeah, we do. We have it on the boots as well. We've got it doubled up. There's combat mastery on the boots. So they're quite nice as well from the Fae. And we've got various layers of protection in there as well. So our armor class is up to a reasonably decent 57 at level 5. That's not bad, especially for a character effectively in robes and not really especially invested in defences. So that's great. That's the epic martial past lives kicking in and helping us. Otherwise we've just got some double shot there. That's nice. Sapphire of moderate fort in there. Our fortification is more than respectable, as you would expect from a Warforged. 145 there, so we shouldn't be taking too many crits. The main stats are doing pretty well. Now there is a bit of a difference now between Dex and Intelligence, so the Intelligence to hit that we've got as a spell should be helping us. In time we'd like to pick up Intelligence to damage instead, because you can only use either the hit or damage, you can't stack them both. So we'll use Intelligence to damage to save us a couple of points in the Harper tree, and we'll just select this which will give us Intelligence to hit. But at the moment my priority is to go full steam ahead through this tree to get the nice tier 4 things, which we're not too far off now. 16 points spent in the tree. Otherwise, yeah, we've got some other nice... I don't have a Voice of the Master on red, so I'll make that a priority to try to get one, because I realise they're bound to character, so you can't pass it across. So at the moment, just Runic Trinket to boost the spell power for our repair, which we just picked up, repair moderate at level 3. It's not doing too badly outside of Reaper. It's just touching the 40, so that's not bad. What else have we got? That's just a bog standard thing I had, search and con. So we've got most of the thiefy skills covered on the gear at the moment. And that, well, that's quite a nice piece, isn't it? Profane 1, accuracy and deadly on there, and it just happens to have a mythic and a Reaper boost on it. So our PRR is actually looking not so terrible for this level. Mimic Cloak. These Mimic items are level 4 items. Both the belt and cloak are quite nice. The belt has all your healing, healing amp and hit points on. And the cloak has a bit of DR and fort, and we've got that sticky goo guard that does trigger quite often. Belt is very nice. It can trigger haste, not too often, but it can trigger. I mean, I could chug haste potions, but I'm not really that bothered about a bit faster attack speed, so I'll just let it trigger when it wants. Relentless Fury, I think it's the first item, the lowest level item that you can get that can trigger that, so that's nice. A little bit of extra damage won't go amiss. An armor piercing, nice too. Acid resist. Our resists are not looking too terrible for the main stuff. Just cold and sonic we're a bit vulnerable to. Now that'll really come into its own when we get the action boosts going. Otherwise, just a bit more armor piercing and con are not terrible. And the fire resist on there, if we didn't have it anywhere else, would be nice. We've swapped the rune arm cannon as well. As discussed previously, the one from Fae, well, as well as being part of the Fae set, the Necro mini cannon, would give us ghostly, which would mean I didn't have to swap over to another weapon to be able to reliably hit Reapers, which could be interesting. I've stuck with this because it's a great box breaker, and also I have crafted, you can see there, I've crafted the electric spell power and a bit of a bonus there, spell sight, a bit of a bonus to spell power in general on there to help our imbue to do well. I think that's about it for the gear. And I was wrong, it was sunrise, wasn't it, not sunset, because we have the coming of the dawn now here. Okay, so I was planning to just go through 3 or 4 of these quests here in the Saltmarsh, see how we go on. For those who don't have the pack or who haven't run it too much, there is some decent level 3 gear to be had here, but also it's super easy, as I keep saying, and if I keep saying, maybe you should pay attention if you haven't tried it already, to upgrade said gear to level 20 for some really nice entry epic level gear, which can definitely take you to 29 in good shape. So if you haven't tried the epic Saltmarsh crafting already, give it a go. You just take some Saltmarsh hay, which is readily available in this area in all the chests and yeah, any wilderness chests or chest in the quest will contain Saltmarsh hay. Take it to the altar there in the 12, and dead simple to upgrade your items to epic. You won't regret it. I'll be showing, I'm sure I've shown some before anyway, but I'll be showing some when we reach 20, so you'll be able to make a more informed decision perhaps. Still trying the baiting in strategy, but when there's a red crown in the mix and it doesn't die, try and heal in between times. That's nice. So our AoE, which is now to the highest level it can be, is working well, but on higher levels baiting things in like that would see me dead, I'm sure.
The closest one is just to the southwest, across a small bridge.
Of course, in the previous life with Red, we had the luxury of having Nasliller along to make the groups for us. Here we have to use ourselves as bait. I just want to show that the Arti is perfectly capable of making a decent solo effort, which the bow build, I'm afraid, was definitely less so. Trying to stay still to let the stacks build as much as possible. So you can see we've got nearly full stacks there. We've got 13, 14 Archer's focus. That's definitely going to help, especially when we trigger the big AoE. Get that caster. Oh, Reaper. That was good. The Reaper bought it in and amongst everything else. Okay, there you go. We got triggered with the haste there from the belt. A bit earlier would have been nicer, but okay. Trigger the heals while we're out of combat, so you're close to 40, so that's not bad. And very cheap, so we will be very unlucky if we run out of mana. Just demonstrate the destructive box-breaking power of the rune arm. Oh, yes, we will. Oh, crikey, the tree's in the way. Oh, Reaper. Should really have switched, but waiting for the AoE. Okay. I think that's it for this sponge, yeah.
You scan the horizon. Sure enough, a third shrine can be seen.
Where's this option list? Oh, it's up there. Okay, we might as well have a little go at that. I think we'll lead with the AoE. Oh, he's strong. And so is that thing. Oh, Stone Guard always are, aren't they? Yeah. I'm guessing there'll be a chest up there for us. So yes, as mentioned, Saltmarsh hay, Salt Meadow hay. Now where are we supposed to be going? Is it there? I think it probably is. That's what happens when, yeah, it's where those two shrines are. Let's rebuff. When I go off the beaten track, I just very quickly get lost. Try and stand in the middle again and build the stacks up. Oh, he looks nasty. Oh, we didn't take too much damage, did we? So we've got 5 DR from the cloak we're wearing, and then when the stone skin thing triggers, that gives us 10 for a little bit. Making use of the caustic shot whenever it's off cooldown, just to give us a bit more oomph. Get rid of that crown, yes. It's counterintuitive, isn't it, staying in one place like this, but if your character can take it, it's well worth it to stack the archer focus until the damage, I think. Now, where did it say? Up to the north. I'm guessing this stand-still strategy would be totally non-viable on a beginning character with maybe 20 or 30 less armor class than we have here. Blurry. Again, we're suffering through lack of true sight. I think we get true sight with the not the Saltmarsh, the Isle of Dread gear at 7. going to move. Got lucky with the Reaper and hit it even though we don't have the right weapon for it.
You hear angry shouts to the north. A powerful Sahuagin, clearly
Okay,
the leader of his
let's
incursion,
throw the Hood of
stands
Unrest on.
surrounded by threats,
Get some Reaper boost
pitiful
going.
when they approach.
Let's see what damage we can do here.
Stop the Sahuagin's mission tonight, though surely the sea will compare their efforts to
Nice.
Saltmarsh and Reborn. It's time for you to finally get a good
I'm sure there are still some nice items to be found here that red doesn't have. That invis ring I would quite like. In fact, talking of invis, purple found a really nice clickable bracer, I think as a quest chain reward in the last life. 5 charges of invis, somewhat overkill I'll grant you, but still very nice to have. So we're going to go on towards the infamous Thousand Tooth quest.
A lone cottage stands here, abandoned and overgrown. Massive tracks in the mud lead to a dark and stinking den.
He can be pretty frightening on Legendary when he pops up and just eats you alive. God, get off the horse. Trying to hit the special attack. Oh, I put it on cooldown for some reason. Can we rune arm them? Let's rune arm them. There we go.
This cave stinks of death, magic, and wine, in that order. Judging from what you can see, the Sahuagin have set up some kind of ritual to control the giant crocodile. And they're using it to raid
So I
passing
guess here
ships.
as well we're going to try as
Some of
much
these
as
wine
possible
casks have teeth marks.
stand in one place and build the stacks.
There are definitely some unpleasant things in the war. Best to avoid this room. This is the Sahuagin. They meddle with the pack. Hold them, my warriors. I will commune with thousand teeth.
Come on. Okay. Hello. So try not to break too many of the barrels. The exploding barrels, if you didn't know, can be used to stun the crocodile, which is very handy, especially on the Legendary when he takes some killing.
Whips out of the water. Thousand teeth retreats into the water, unaccustomed to food that bites.
And that's the complete reverse of what normally happens with Thousand Teeth. On the Legendary, he pops up, eats me for breakfast, and leaves me wondering what else I could have done.
Another wave of Sahuagin surged from the water.
Come on then. That'll do. Oh, and try not to spend too much time in the water. These nibbling things. I should put the feather fall thing on, shouldn't I, just to give us a bit more chance. And a jump potion wouldn't go amiss here either. This is the last one, isn't it? These water weirds are going to come up here. Again, on Legendary, these can be horrible. And they've put paid to me many a time.
The Sahuagin's barrier vanishes. The mage is now within your reach.
Now, where is the crocodile?
1,000 feet is a deep ground. And charges again. The beast is fully committed.
Okay.
Crocodile
Somewhat of an anticlimax, but I'll happily take that. The number of times I've been eaten by that beggar. No loot for me. Still, we'll take survival as our prize.
Massive tracks in the mud lead to a dark and stinky den.
Still no sign of a Vorpal repeater. If any of you have been looking for such things or Vorpal anything and found, just let me know in the comments maybe, because from what I can tell, it might be an extinct thing on the random loot. It doesn't seem to be things dropping at all. As we saw when we checked the auction house the other day, there were a handful of Vorpal items on there, but they could have been things people were holding on to that maybe have increased in value if the Vorpal thing isn't a thing anymore.
Large and deep cavern. It may be a challenge to find your way back to the surface.
I know it was always interesting to try and look for those, because the random loot was the only source really of that. You couldn't, meaning you couldn't craft it by any means. So that was the best bet for an early level Vorpal item. That's an example of the other way round. The things were all grouped up nicely for us, so I took advantage and steamed in there with the big AoE.
With forks leading north and south.
I think there's going to be a load following that one. It takes a little bit of getting used to, because it's counterintuitive, but just baiting them into you and then hitting the big AoE attack is a definite recipe for success, at least on these lower levels where you're not going to get completely savaged by one hit or two. I'll see you're blurry. Oh, and he's going to raise me one Carnage Reaper. Let's swap the weapon then while it's not moving. Nice. Okay, can we have the thing off cooldown please, quickly? Thank you. Oh.
rune flickers to life as you touch it.
I was thinking about maybe putting a few... Oh, where am I going here? Apart from making a complete mess of it. I was thinking about putting a few more points in... you know, I mentioned a while back maybe going in the falconry to pick up... Just to pick up the animal favoured enemy for the end game, for the dino area. If I go a bit further in there, I could get sprint boost, because red, unlike purple, does not have the purple dragon past life for that little... Oh, what's happening here? What have I missed? Oh, I've not gone the other way, have I, you muppet? Doesn't have the purple dragon past life for that nice little boost you can kick on 3 times a life. And in a quest like this with the running around, especially with me making a complete hash of it, it would be appreciated. So I think you saw there, as he was running towards me, that one, I had him targeted and the shot just whiffed. But when they arrived next to me and I hit the AoE, it definitely totaled them, didn't it? Okay. So somewhere like here, where there's no enemies at all, a sprint boost just to get back to where I was would have been helpful. Or in some cases as well for self-preservation. I wouldn't really use it for following the rest of a group, because I don't tend to go in the public groups, which is where the sprint boost, I gather, is most widely used. Hopefully one day that can change. That's not worked out very well, has it? Get that caster down. Yeah, I paid for that. He really hammered us, didn't he? Should have shot him first instead of leaving him.
You see a doorway up on a ledge above. Perhaps it leads to the way out of the caves. Towering columns.
Right, okay, so jump, feather fall.
As the wheel aligns to the correct symbol, one of the geysers stopping and the pillar slows.
Let's see if we can do this without making a complete balls of it. Okay, ladder down. I tend to find when I try and go a bit faster on here, that's when it lags and throws me down into... Oh, that was a bit of a jump. Okay, we'll take that. Whenever you see the acid on the damage report, that's the caustic shot that's been triggered. Come on, people. Wakey, wakey. Have haven't actually been trying the rune arm too much, have we? Except for box breaking.
The door opens to reveal a large bowling An impressively large bowling commands his smaller kin to attack.
Come on then, everybody. Get out of the way so they can't all hit us. And we're taking a pasting there, aren't we?
A door opens up above, allowing access to the highest chamber. Perhaps now
Okay,
we can return to the
we
surface.
outlasted them. So at the moment, we can't really heal in combat with the Reaper nerf, at least not to any degree of that would help us to survive. So we've just got to outlast them. But later on, once the reconstruct spell comes online, we certainly will be able to, at least in the lower to mid Reaper. So that's going to be a heck of a boost to our survivability. Especially if I want to persist with this suicidal strategy of standing like a turret and building the stacks up.
From the burrow.
No Vorpal there, is there? Okay, Sourgwyn Fortress. I think we'll make this one the last one for today. I'll spare you the Dunwater one, which could totally have been an episode all on its own. And that's one thing I think they did right with, unlike almost all the other quests in the game. The Dunwater one, the map, if you've noticed, is revealed at the start, so you can see where you're going and what you're doing, because otherwise that would be tough.
I'll head to the lower level
Is that an
and try
earthquake?
to distract a couple
Some
of
form of
Saltmarsh
sorcery.
patrols.
This is one of the little things that, well, either you go without buffs or you get used to them lasting just 5 minutes and having to be recast at these lower levels. That's why always on things like those level 6 steel weave boots, is it, from the kind of a big deal quest. Very nice, save you clicking the buttons all the time. A trap box here, isn't there? Oh, hello. Oh, you little lurker. Okay, any more for any more? No, I don't think so. See there, 14 we got, and we get closer to 40 when not affected by the nerf. Live dice roll. How dare you interrupt the sacred dice roll? And we got a 3. Yeah, okay.
Construction tools nearby and new tile on the walls show that the Sahuagin are converting this old wizard-folk fortress into their own military base.
Oh, he looks nasty. Oh. All done, all done. Oh, we just pull this one, don't we?
You hear the clang of hammers and the scrape of shovels nearby. Captive lizard folk work on one side of this chain.
Baiting, 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 boom. Yes.
Soldiers guard the slaves. The lizard folk slaves seize their chance and turn on their Sahuagin masters. The fortress shakes, and the water covering the floor rises slightly.
So yes, I'm not too disappointed with the, well, not disappointed at all, with sort of rushing the AoE attack. That's been brilliant for us. Anytime we could be swarmed, well, we do regularly get swarmed, don't we? But they soon realise they've bitten off more than they can chew when that thing goes off. We're going to get swarmed here, speaking of. Lovely stuff. There's actually some glasses there. Are they worth wearing? Not really. We have accuracy on a different item anyway. Again, all for a sprint boost. I can't really justify, at least not for me, with the end build in Legendary, because he does get at the top of the tree 10 bonus to movement speed with the rune arm, but that does not stack with the sprint boost, unfortunately, because it's an action boost bonus itself, so that's unfortunate. The other thing, my other little gripe about that, is that characters who are getting the speed bonus usually, especially as a tier 5, would have 20 bonus, like 1 for each character level, like the rogue gets, and what else gets that? I can't remember. Having said that, there are others like the paladin who gets a 10. Well, the paladin should only get 10. The heavy armor, it would be ludicrous if they were running around with the 20 boost. You guys coming or going? You're going, okay. Path of least resistance then. The bear would be appalled at that. She would totally have laid into all that lot just because she could. I think at the next level, although I'll be losing the Seeker on the boots, I will probably go for the always on run speed of the steel weave shin guards.
The ground trembles, and the water rises once again. The Sahuagin must be using magic to sink the entire fortress.
Give these things a wide berth. They don't seem to bother you if you don't annoy them. Come on, outlast the buggers. That's nice. Touch the thing here.
The underwater breathing device pulses with magic power. You and your companions can now explore the deep water on the lower level of the Sahuagin Fortress. We've come to Lakeland Walker. Our base here is almost up.
Oh, very nice.
One of your mission's primary targets. Your next target is the High Priestess. You must be on the lower level. An imposing figure commands the throne room.
Okay, let's get on down to the lower level and see what's what. So as long as we're not completely swamped, we can do all right with just top up healing after the fight for the moment. Which is what I was doing with the oils of Cure Serious. I think this is the section where we benefit from the guy at the start distracting the lower level patrols. I'm guessing there should be something in here normally. Crikey. Every shot missed him because I had the wrong bow. Wow. Yeah, so that's one in favour of swapping to the Necro Cannon at 5. I might try, we are going to do the Fey anyway later. I might try to see if I can snag one of those and perhaps avoid some of this pain in future.
The High Priestess has just arrived at the fortress's main entrance.
I think without doing that, the earliest source of the ghostly we're going to get is level 7 on an Isle of Dread cloak.
This evil artifact will be safer in the gatekeeper's hands.
Got very unlucky actually with the items. I don't think we found a single named item so far here, have we?
Surrounding coastal areas.
Still, as I'm fond of saying, there's always next time. Speaking of which, I think that about wraps it up for this one. I think you might agree we're on a decent run now. We've had no further demises since that flash death from the Flame Strike Red Crown. So that's always good. Build a bit of confidence. Thank you very much as always for looking. We'll leave you on what looks like a sunny day over the marshes, and we'll speak to you next time. Take care.